TGIF, it's a Friday, the 8th day of March, 2024. Well, the disorganized weather system that has moved in and is still around early today in some areas produced some exciting weather in places as pockets of heavy snow and even some thunderstorm activity developed yesterday. Depending on where you were, in parts of the southern panhandle of Nebraska, around Sidney, along Interstate 80 across southern and southwest Nebraska, we had some very heavy snowfall at times. Some areas got some rain and snow, and for you folks in Laramie, a lot of you heard the thunder. There was a thunderstorm with snow and graupel in the Laramie area early yesterday afternoon. Now, this disorganized storm system, and it remains kind of in pieces, but the moisture and instability of it will still produce some light snow, especially southeastern Wyoming, some areas of the Front Range of Colorado, but by afternoon, it's going to be moving on out. But it still is going to be producing some weather. We're going to have high pressure for the weekend. So a pretty decent weekend coming up. Yes, there'll be some breezy areas, but we don't expect the wind to be too bad. So another good weekend to maybe hit the ski slopes, the snowmobile and cross-country trails, especially as more snow has fallen this week in the high country. Now, the fair weather is going to last through Monday. Then we have a little system that's going to come off the Pacific Northwest coast. And some areas, Monday night and Tuesday, will get snow, especially western Wyoming, Idaho, Washington, Oregon, northern Utah, the higher elevations. It's a typical little front you'll get coming off the Pacific in the month of March that can be quite productive for the mountains and areas along and west of the divide. So there's that little system, kind of a sneaky one, Monday night and Tuesday. Then we're still watching this larger storm system to come in, especially Wednesday, Thursday. We're still looking at rain, snow, and thunder with that system, especially for the central to southern Rockies and the central and the southern plains. The way the system is coming together, a lot of question marks with it, but we'll keep an eye on it as it does look like it's going to be a larger, slower moving system. The satellite image this morning still shows the system just trying to get its act together, but it does have so much moisture and instability with it. There's a fair amount of weather out here with areas of showers and thunderstorms, snow on the backside across portions of Nebraska and Iowa, and still some light snows in this area right here, as you'll see on radar. You're still looking at some snow on the backside of this system, areas of rain and thunderstorms pretty widespread across the nation's midsection, and still some showers hanging back into the desert southwest. But you can see California here, the Great Basin, that high pressure ridge beginning to move in. So today's system coming out of the plains, there still will be winter weather for you folks early in the day today, especially in southern Wyoming and along the Front Range of Colorado and out on the eastern plains with lingering showers. But more of the wetness in the weather will head to the central and eastern areas of the U.S. this weekend. But this is what will fall through today. So these are the areas today that are still going to have some weather. You can see the green shading there where the heavier snow is going to be right near that divide area, especially along the eastern side as upslope will continue into those areas. And this is what the snowfall will look like before it's done later today. So you can see along Interstate 80, I-25, you're going to have a little bit of weather, I-70 in Colorado's mountain areas as well. Then we head to the weekend. We get this high pressure ridge coming on in, giving us some fair weather. This will direct the jet stream up to the north of us, so that will lighten up the winds. Really is not too much of a factor. This is the little sneaky system that's going to come in as we get into late Sunday and into Monday for the Pacific Northwest and portions of the northern Rockies. It's going to come in, both of these systems sort of working together, and it doesn't look like much, does it? But you see this little dip right here, this little ripple? These are something that we get in March and April, especially this time of year, where they come in, they move through quickly, but they're really good at producing mountain snow. And so basically, it's basically a frontal system coming in, moving very quickly along the jet stream, but this is where there's going to be weather with it. So significant rain in the Pacific Northwest coast, the northern Sierra, then getting even into the eastern areas of Washington and Oregon and into Idaho again. Then you can see there's going to be some showers out ahead of it as we get into overnight Monday into Tuesday. So during the day Monday here, then Monday night and Tuesday spreading east. But it will move very quickly Only a little bit of shower activity gets east of the divide. But the mountains of western Wyoming, these areas here, some of the mountains of northern Colorado, southern Wyoming, will get a brief shot of snow Monday night and Tuesday. That system moves quickly off to the east after depositing some rain and snow shower activity, and there you can see the snowfall forecast. Then we have the next system. So we're still looking at the right configuration. High pressure along the west coast, high pressure in the southeast, with low pressure consolidating. And again, organization is very critical on how well that system will come together to produce upslope. But it will again bring in a good slug of moisture from the west. Moisture will be available from the Gulf if this configuration of high, low, high comes together. So we'll keep an eye on Wednesday and Thursday. We'll have much better detail for you as we get into the next podcast Monday morning for you. Speaking of Monday morning and speaking of the weekend coming up, don't forget we lose an hour of sleep. Move those clocks forward before you hit the sack Saturday night. Have yourself a good weekend despite the fact it's 1 hour shorter.